Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Sorry for the hiatus, but we are back and I promise you that you will have me for a long time. So today we are going to work in replacing the zipper on these coats. So let's go. The first step is to check all your zipper. You have to take pictures if you like, so you don't forget the way it was before. The second step is to open your zipper. You have to be really careful because you don't want to break the material. Okay, so really be very careful while you open. I'm marking before I finish so I know where my zipper starts. Please notice how the feathers are encapsulated, so I don't have all the feathers going around. So I just remove this side. Now I will go with this. Going at the back, because if I break the material, at least I won't be breaking the top part, right? The other side of the zipper is done. Now, that was the easy part. Now we are going to clean everything up. You see all those little threads? You don't want it in your way. So you have to be patient with that, because if you don't do it, it's not good job. Okay, so be patient, remove all the thread. So I finished with the thread. Now what I'm gonna do, I will take a new zipper. You can get those at your local fabric store. And what I'm gonna do, I will measure with the old one and then I will mark it where it's finished. But you know, this is just for a reference. I really don't care too much about that, because sometimes the coat might shrink and it's not like it has to be exactly the same, because if the coat shrink, then you need a zipper shorter or things like that. Usually this kind of coat doesn't shrink, but you never know. Okay, so now let's go and sew. Now I'm trying to find the right thread. I think this one is the most similar to the original one, so I'll use this. Something else that you have to take in account is what size the slider are in the old zipper, because sometimes a slider can come in this side or this side, and the customer get a little bit cranky, let's say, when they come and pick up and they are in the wrong side. So let me just check. So for this one, you see they are in the same size, so we are good. Remember that we have a video about the slider and how to replace them, so you can take a look of them then. Because sometimes you don't need to replace the zipper. We needed to replace this one because it was missing some teeth here, and you see it was broken there, so no choice, replace the zipper. But sometimes if the teeth are all okay, you can just replace the slider and you will be good to go. So what I'm gonna do, I will use this one and I will start placing the zipper here. I will start sewing the zipper on the flap. For that, I will pin it first so it doesn't run. So for pinning, you see what I'm doing, I will see the old stitches and then I will try, so when I sew it will be in the same place. So I have it. And now what I'm gonna do, I will just stitch it, okay? You can use your regular foot and you can use as well a more narrow foot, but I like this one just because I feel more comfortable. I feel like this foot will hold better what I'm gonna do, so that's why. And you see, it's just exactly the space between the teeth and the sewings is perfect, so that's why I don't change the foot. But I know that some people prefer a more narrow foot. Now what I'm gonna do, I will sew the zipper to the lining and then I will sew the top part. So to sew the zipper to the lining, what I'm gonna do, as usual, I'll pin it, and you can sew it by hand too if you wanna have more control. But this one, I will just pin it. When you pin this, take in count the stitches here. So these stitches has to go with this stitch. So you have to pin it in a way that then one will be overlapping the other. Okay, that's very important to have a nice finish with your zipper. Okay, now we are going to sew. And as you know, we are going to sew over the other stitch. What I'm gonna do, I will move my slider, then to move it back, I'll just do that. Okay, so now I'm going to shorten zipper, so I will remove all these teeth. Okay, you have to wear safety glasses to do that. There you go. So now I'll cut it a little bit. I don't need to cut it too much, just a tiny bit. And then I will fold it like that. See? And then like that. See? And then I fold this one and I will place it in the right place inside. And then you can do pin or you can stitch it by hand. I will stitch it by hand. I will tell you why. Because if you stitch it by hand, you get sure that everything will be okay and you don't have to do it twice. It takes more time than just pinning, but the results are much better. Before I do that, I will make sure now to tack those pockets, because those pockets, when I open, the pockets were tacked in this seam. So I will tack it just to be sure that the pocket won't move. And then I will just sew everything by hand. See, it was folded like that, so I just need to secure it a little bit. There you go. And then secure it a little bit here. See, it was folded like that. And then I'll do this same with this other pocket. That's very important because otherwise the pocket is so uncomfortable. Usually they tack it with a ribbon or so, but it was like that, so I'm just copying what I'm seeing, you know. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I will baste the zipper here and we will be okay. Before I will put a little bit, 2 or 3 pins just to be sure, like that. See what I'm doing? I pull, put a pin, pull again, another pin. Oh, this is really, really strong. And pull one last time for another pin. So if you are an experienced tailor, like for you it's easy to sew everything, you can just go ahead and sew. But if you are not too experienced, believe me, baste it. Just right beside of the stitch that I'm gonna do. See, my stitch will be here, so I baste there. So now I'm ready to sew, and as you see, I did the basting with long stitches. This one is a little bit thick, but I have a thick needle, so we will be okay. Now we are going to do the same in the other side and your zipper will be done. You see, it's just easier than you thought, right? It's just a little bit of work. With the other side, I will do the same. I will make sure that everything line up, and then I will try to find the way to put my first pin. See, make sure that everything line up, and then I will put my first pin here. You know, when I put the top part, those lines too has to match, but we will talk about that later. So let me just pin everything before sewing. So I'll do like that, and then I will go and pin all the way down. So I have everything pinned. What I'm gonna do now is to open the zipper, to work with just one side of the zipper, which will make it more like a much easier for me. Now I'm gonna start sewing, and remember, sewing the lining first and then sewing the top, right? When I pin it, I make sure that the stitches will be in the right place. Now this step is done, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close the zipper so I can baste it, and I'll make sure when I do it that all the velcros are in the same place and that this line go with this line, the pockets align, everything. Okay, so let me just work on that. And then remember that I will cut all those teeth. Remember to wear safety glass whenever you are cutting those teeth. Sometimes they jump. Here I'm making sure that they are in the right spot, that when my customer snap, it will be okay. Like that, right spot. Now I will baste everything and then I will sew. So now I'm going to do my last stitch, and then here where the zipper starts, I try to go back and forth a little bit so it's more secure. So after, you can just remove your baste thread. Now we are going to put the stopper here. In fact, if you really fold very well, you really don't need the stopper, but I like to put it. There you go, see? And I'll put the other side, and we are good to go. Well guys, that was all for today. I hope that you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye!